Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Number in the studio 972-235-5555. So yes, get ready to ask your question related to immigration and naturalization or anything related to family law, corporate or civil matters. Once again, the number in the studio 972-235-5555. And if you want to get in touch with Pallavi beyond the show, I would request you all to call the front desk manager at Ahluwalia Law Offices at 972-361-0606. And yes, you can arrange for a private consultation right at that number. And ahluwalialaw.com is her website, or you can log on to yourdecilawyer.com. With that, I would like to welcome Pallavi on air. A very good morning to you, Pallavi.
A wonderful morning to you, Meetu. Glad to be here with your business matters. I think we're here every Wednesday between 10:30 and 11, and sometimes on Fridays or other days that we can come on in, or you can patch me in so that I can talk to the community. We have calls that are already coming in. I think the most popular question for this week has to be the visa bulletin that got us updates and got some dates that provide a relief to EB2 categories for India, and this is so that people may file their adjustment of status. So and we are happy to take on any other questions that you may have. So looking forward to all our calls today. Let's take the first call.
All right, Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes, I have a question for Ms. Pallavi Ahluwalia. Hello, how are you?
Very well. How are you? How may I help you?
Yes. This is regarding the new visa bulletin that has just recently been published.
Yes.
There are now two categories in them.
Correct.
One is for the normal visa bulletin, and other one is the adjustment of the status. So what does that mean?
So one is so there is one category that says that those are the ones where those states are getting their green cards at this point. So they are being processed at the point where they're about to get their green card. And for the other category, that category is the one which, if there are people in the country, they can file for the adjustment of status. If your date is current per that category, you're eligible to file for a 485. If you already have a 485 pending, then you're looking at the other date to see whether that date comes about to get you that green card.
Got it. Thank you so much.
All the best.
Once again, the number in the studio 972-235-5555. And yes, if you want to get in touch with her beyond the show, once again 972-361-0606 is the number. ahluwalialaw.com, their website. Any other updates or anything else that you want to share with us?
Yes, so the other popular question that we're getting, and I think that would be if medicals need to be done this time around, because everybody knows that these categories are not current categories right now. And so the medical exam, as per last June's memo for I-693s, got updated to where medical exams are now current only for a year. So a lot of questions that people are having currently is, do I do my medical exam? Now, USCIS and Department of State should be talking to publish frequently asked questions, that is for all stakeholders, anybody that's filing, and that's an update we still don't have from them. So we're telling our clients and people that are filing through us currently or otherwise to make sure that they wait for that update before they go get their medicals. This may put some pressure on the last week of September to rush to get that medical exam done, but it may just be worth it, because otherwise you're going to be spending $600 or $700 per application in terms of just going and getting that medical exam done, and it will be valid only for a year. So let's wait for some announcements from the government that pertain to that. And of course, if there aren't any, then you will have to submit the medical exam. So let's take the next caller.
All right, thank you for the great tip. Going to our next caller. Can you please turn down your radio and then ask your question? Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
हाय नमस्कार पल्लवी जी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कि मेरी मम्मी 4-5 बार यहाँ यूएस आ चुकी हैं और मैं सिटीजन नहीं हूँ, मेरे पास ग्रीन कार्ड है। तो अगर वो यहाँ आए और आकर वो अपना यहाँ पे अगर ग्रीन कार्ड करे तो ऐसा हो सकता है?
नहीं, पर किस सोर्स के थ्रू करेंगे वो? For your mom to get eligibility to file a green card, it has to be through some source, right? So if you're a green card holder, then then you can't file.
मेरे husband जैसे उन्होंने ही उनको यहाँ पर पहली बार स्पॉन्सर किया था 10 साल पहले, और उसके बाद वो 4-5 बार आ चुकी हैं और अपना टाइम से वापस गई हैं। तो अगर वो यहाँ पर फिर से आए और अपना यहीं से अगर कुछ करें, क्योंकि मैं सिटीजन नहीं, और जब तक मैं सिटीजन लूंगी उसके लिए तो बहुत टाइम होगा, और अभी कुछ ऐसा है कि वो आए और वो खुद अपना करें और हम लोग यहाँ से सपोर्ट कर दें उन्हें पेपर वर्क जो भी चाहिए।
That is not an option. So anything to file for a green card is preceded by a petition. The petition could be based on a family-based petition or an employment-based petition. And for that, if it's an employment-based, then there's a job offer, and it takes a while to get through there. And if it's family-based, you as a green card holder cannot sponsor her, and she does not have options to do that by herself. Your husband may have sent her the sponsorship documents for the affidavit of support purposes, but he cannot be the one that can sponsor her. It has to be the blood relationship. So it will be when you get to be a US citizen कि आप उनको sponsor कर सकें उस time पे.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
All right, thank you so much. And once again, the number in the studio 972-235-5555. So going to our next caller, Panisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I have a good question regarding this new EAD law.
Yes, the
It
adjustment of
could be like,
status.
I'm in H1B visa, and my previous employer filed the green card, and from him, the 140 is approved.
Okay.
Now I joined a new company, so can I still eligible to file the EAD or not?
Yeah, so here is a lot of, so just a couple of things here that I'll clear the air on. This is not just filing an EAD. The EAD comes as a benefit of your adjustment of status. That's number one. Okay. The adjustment of status requires an approved I-140. It also requires a current letter of employment from the employer that has done the I-140. Okay, so if your previous employer is willing to give you that letter of employment, because it's based on future employment. Okay, so if your previous employer is willing to give you that letter of employment for future employment, that will be enclosed with the approved I-140 and the 485 that you will be filing. So yes, the answer is yes, you can still file, but you still need the support from the first employer to be able to do so.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Okay, all the best to you.
All right, thank you so much for your question. 972-235-5555 is the number in the studio, and we have Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Office answering all your questions. Panisha Radio, you're live on the air. All right, 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. And earlier I had this question from my friend, which I probably will hold on to and first take the caller and then probably ask you that question.
Surely.
All right. Panisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hi,
hi.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, my name is Tina. My mom was here on a visitor visa. I got it extended, so she stayed here for 1 year.
Okay.
And my question is, how soon she went back in?
She's been in the country for about a year before she left in July. So I would say that she needs to be out for at least 6-7 months. Now that you're a US citizen, you can sponsor her even through consular processing, which means that you would do the I-130 first in the country and then go through the National Visa Center process and sponsor her. That at this point is moving along pretty fast and can get her the green card in about 8 to 9 months, as opposed to her coming and filing an adjustment of status here. That can take anywhere from about 13 to about 15 months in the country. And from the time that she enters, which would be 6-7 months later, she cannot file for an adjustment of status until 60 to 90 days after her entry. So you can see that the process that I can anticipate for her would take about 2 years almost, from if you were to just look at it from now. However, if you were to start the consular processing out for her now, you can do so while she's still abroad. All right?
Okay. And then, so when can she stay for the duration of 13, 15, or maybe 2 years? If she's here and start the process?
Yes.
Can she
Yes.
stay in the US?
Yes. Yes. So she will be able to stay in the US based on that adjustment, and it will remain pending till it kind of gets adjudicated. She can only travel with a travel document called an advance parole.
Okay. And financially, is there a huge difference in the two approaches?
The National Visa Center process in terms of filing fees is slightly less expensive. The adjustment of status is roughly about $1,600, and the National Visa Center process is about under $700 right now.
Okay. And it seems like that's faster too.
Right now it's moving faster. This may just go through again a reset in terms of timelines and get delayed too, but currently as we see it, we see the National Visa Center move a little bit faster than the adjustment of status.
Okay, thank you.
All the best,
right,
Tina.
thank you for your question. Moving on, Panisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for taking my call. My name is Satish, and I filed for my citizenship back in November 2014 with the priority date of November 17th. And I got an interview notice in May, but I had to postpone it because I was going out of country. And after that, I did not receive any rescheduled interview. And I followed up with USCIS, and they said my case is with an officer and it's adjudicated. And I think the current processing dates for Dallas field office is December. So is there anything that I need to do or to speed up the process, or do I just need to wait for their response?
Yeah, you may just have to wait for the response, and if you're not getting any, then set up an info pass and go, and that may just trigger an inquiry. And again, if you have you had a case status inquiry done already?
Yes, I followed last month, but I received a letter saying that it is with an officer and it's currently in review, and they don't have any time frame as of now.
Okay, yeah. So if you do not hear from them in another 30 days, then do take it up to do another inquiry. Otherwise, sometimes the officers may just forget about a file. And I say that quite often on the air, that if you have an appointment that's coming up with them, do not reschedule it, because it's just almost that the officer can make the human error on setting aside your file and not attending to it. And the way they would get to it would be by your inquiries and several reminders. However, there is a timeline that you have to follow, in which once your inquiry is made, that you've got to give them some time before you can make a second inquiry again. So you'll have to just go through that process.
Okay, thank you. One final question. When I tried to go, to see the info pass checking process, I did not find, it is only giving some fixed options to schedule for the info pass, but it did not, give an option for this type of cases. So can I just make any choice and schedule an info pass?
Yeah, so it should be like a case inquiry. Maybe there should be an option for a case inquiry. You may have to choose. So it may not be completely pertinent, but choose a generic option that kind of fits your category.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for sorry.
Thank you for your call. Going to our next caller, Panisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
My question is regarding the green card processing. My green card is in process in EB2 category, and currently the perm is filed. I may have to go back to my home country outside US for some time. So want to check, at what stage of the green card processing I can go out of US without impacting my application?
So you just had the perm file, you said, right?
Yes, it may be approved in next couple of months.
Okay, so yeah, based on that, there is no impact to your travel at all. You can go. All this process up until you file for an adjustment of status can continue without your presence in the country. This is all related to the employers vetting out the labor market and filing with the Department of Labor, certifying that there are no other qualified U.S. citizens or green card holders that have been found for this position. And so that's a process that covers the employer, not you particularly. So you can step out of the country without an impact.
And the adjustment of status has to be filed when I am in US, or it can be filed outside US?
So there are a couple of ways to do this. So once your priority date gets current, you can either start it through consular processing, and this whole green card can be processed through the consulate, through the National Visa Center #1 and then the consulate. Or for the adjustment of status, yes, you'll have to be in the country. So once you come into the country and you're H-1B. That's a dual intent visa. You can almost immediately, as soon as you arrive, file for the adjustment. You do not have the requirement to wait 60 to 90 days from the time of entry because of the kind of visa that you enter on. So yes, so adjustment is one option for which you have to be in the country. The consular processing aspect, you can be outside the country.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you so much for your call. Moving on, Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
My name is Anita. I am a U.S. citizen, and I'm asked my brother, who is on a work visa. He's gone to India right now to get the visa stamped again, and there's a chance that that may or may not happen, like with any extension. So since I'm a U.S. citizen, is there anything I could do so he is able? He wants to stay in the U.S. essentially.
Okay. So
Is there any?
yes, you can sponsor him, but it is a 12-year wait by the time it would have impact. For India, the family-based fourth category is right now being processed at February 1 of 2004 for filing adjustments. That means if they have petitions that were filed on that day, those are the ones that can be eligible to start out their final step. And the ones that are getting their green cards currently are the ones that file in February of 2003. So you can see it's about 12 years behind, 12 and a half years behind. So there is not any immediate option, but if you start out your process, eventually you'll get there.
So that would be a standard family-based, right? Like nothing, because he's been in the U.S. for 7 years, and that's the visa extension.
There are no
other.
Yeah, there are no other options that you can do to help. Yes.
And then I guess I could get my other siblings if they wanted to as well. What are the documents that would be required in that case?
The most important document to prove the relationship would be the birth certificates of all of you. So that have to show the common parents.
And in case we don't, in case my mom doesn't have the birth certificate?
Well, then you'll have trouble because you'll have to go get certificates of non-availability and go with affidavits. And USCIS needs strong secondary evidence besides the certificate of non-availability to believe that these are indeed siblings.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. And then one more question. Once my mom becomes a U.S. Green card holder and then she becomes a citizen, how easy is it? Would that be easier if she does that for my brothers?
Mom's process currently is just about a year ahead of yours. So if your brother's married or unmarried?
Married.
He's married, so that's the family-based third category, and that is now being processed for May of 2004. So it's still about 11 years behind.
Okay. So it's not any easier if the parents
there are wait
for
times.
her child.
Yes. So if they are children that are over 21 and married, then that does impact the visa bulletin. For unmarried children, the dates are a little faster. That's January of 2008. But for married children, it is 2004.
Okay. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you so much. And we are almost there. Yes, we will see you, Pallavi, next time. And thank you for coming to the studio and answering all the questions. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Meetu. I look forward to being back next week, or actually maybe I'll try and patch in on Friday and to be able to answer some more questions for the community.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming.
I look forward. Bye-bye.